would you like to continue with music from a big composer, Brazilian composer called Milton Nascimento? And this song is called Anima.
You good? I'm good, in here.
So of him playing his own music while doing some poetry, he asked if they can do an impromptu collaboration up on stage. I don't know what to expect. You guys don't know what to expect, right? we all just kind of like, we don't know what's going to happen here. But all I know is when you have people that have the same ideology and the same feelings about certain things, you always have soul resonance. You feel each other and then you produce what you guys feel. With that being said, can I please have a warm round of applause for Stanley up on stage?
Welcome to all the ambassadors. It's a song of a fallen tree. Die lied van die vallende boom. Die wind is bitter in my keel. Bitter as dit oggend word. Bitter as dit aand word. Nog bitterder deur die dag. Die werfeters beklim die boom, soos 'n rotsklimmer, te bang om af te kyk. Die weiekorf wat jaar in, jaar uit, seisoen in en seisoen uit, dag in en dag uit, geblink het van heuning, is nou 'n hoop in die stofpad. Die haan het gekraai, toe antwoord die grysduwe met 'n skreeu in die koer. Ons stellasie is weg. Ek kon sien dat die boom dood is. Toe die eerste toppe aarde toe val. Toe val nog 'n stuk. Nog 'n stuk is dood. Nog 'n stuk. Nog 'n stuk. Tot daar niks oorgebly het nie. En ek het die boom hoor huil. The next one, stormgedagtes, stormy thoughts. Agtermiddag sak die son soos 'n fyn syserp in die see in. Dis dan wanneer ek my... En weer. En weer. Daar is bloed in my hande. Daar is krale om haar nek, krale om haar enkels. Klare om haar hande, kleurkrale in haar drome. Daar is nie in haar niks. Daar is niks in haar niks. Goed kom uit niks en niks kom uit goed. Niks. Goed en kwaad stap saam. Tot in 'n voetpad, tot binne in jou hart, waar swepe en rottangs my stukken slaan. Daar is sout in haar are, daar is haat in my bloed, daar is liefde in haar hande, wanneer die storms woed. Nou bly daar 'n man op die maan, 'n muis in die gang, 'n doring in die vlees, 'n krippel in 'n ou man se stap. Tok tokkie, maak oop die deur, jou mamma en pappa, om die wind en woorde van hulle wat skreeu, buite te hou, buite te hou, buite te hou, buite te hou. Die wyse een draai sy rug op die wêreld en stap alleen. Sien bome, se wortels lê diep onder die aarde begrawe. Daar waar al die aarde se slimheid hoor en opstuur na die hoogste toppe. Moenie bang raak vir alleen wees en rugdraai nie. Ek laat my nie deur mense voorskryf nie. Hou op om dood te maak. Stop to kill. Likwele ubulayana.
Two people from completely different backgrounds, but yet together they make something that is just absolutely beautiful. The emotion behind every finger movement and the emotion behind the lip quiver just becomes this beautiful symphony, this cacophony of just elegance. Thank you, both of you, thank you very much. That was beautiful. That has requested a collaboration. It's very hard for me to introduce my friends because I have a bias towards them because I know how they speak, I know how they think. So it's very difficult for me to actually think of something that is outside of my perspective that you would understand. But for this man, I would like to say that he's coming up on this stage to answer the questions that I have placed before him. I have asked him some deep philosophical questions, and he has chosen this platform to answer them. Not just any other platform, but a platform of being vulnerable for people that we can't tell from above. So, and he chooses to stand here and be vulnerable for y'all. Can I please have a warm round of applause for Devolutionery?
Thank you, everybody. First and foremost, I'd love to greet Sabunani Njani. Lisa. And I'll take it to the most eastern part of Konnichiwa. We're a global culture, we're a global society, and right now I'd like to thank such a beautiful collaboration that we're about to go into. And basically, Thabang has thoroughly explained what I'm about to do. Part of the questionnaires that we actually post on the event page, which actually had me pondering as beautifully as it is. What is the wind beneath your wing? It could be the sense of synergy that actually allows me to flee beyond my imagination, beyond my contribution. But the only solution is like an unclipped butterfly, how to spread his wings to be. What is the fire behind your passion? Crucially, to be or not to be, is that still the question? But I find in everybody that I encounter and see beyond me is the concept to be free, burning passionately throughout every single moment, the highs and lows, the rivers, the monster that flows. evaporate, elevate, to bring us rain, to never complain, but to simply explain the birth of something new that manifests and bless us every single moment with undying, unconditional warmth. What is the water that feeds your soul? I guess ultimately is every individual's goal to be who we truly are, to be what we see. Last but not least, where is the void that creationism begins? It seems as from inception, the seedling that is laid within the soil that deploys the greenery that allows us to be. Just like the stars, the earth, and the soul. But ultimately, we are who we are. Because of Muntu Naba. So to speak, the state of being. Man, being.
At some point, you needed to make that decision of, I'm going to be there. I'm going to experience that. I'm going to be a part of that synergy and that energy. With that being said, can I please have a round of applause for every single one of you that's in this room? So I'm gonna do some announcements, and then I'm gonna bring up our lineup of poets, and then we're gonna have some more music, and then we're gonna have our open micer poets that are going to come up. So I always forget my announcements, so I write it down. That's it. Lady that is soft-spoken, sultry at heart, but also vicious in tone. In a single word, she can build. At the same time, in a single flick of her tongue, she can command. She is the driving force behind.
In partnership with the Shosholoza and Railways Cafe event.
Shosholoza.
Welcome to our family. Welcome back. So Thabang's highlight was that I'm soft-spoken. Sometimes I throw things out of the water. So tonight, the poem that I'm going to recite, for those of you who have heard it before, I'm sorry, which is like 1% of you, so thanks. For the rest of you, I hope you enjoy it. So the name of my poem is Things You Need to Know, or Free Advice. Woo! It's kind of a conversation I have with my friends every now and again. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got troubles and I've got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do We stick together and see it through, 'cause you got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend that will lead you when you're lost. The kind that holds your hand when words are at a loss. A friend that carries your burdens without complaining about the cost. I will walk beside you on good days and on bad ones and cheer you on, no matter how small the victory. You've got a friend in me. These are words we hope the world will whisper to us. The praise we shout out for to Father Time, the incessant cry to our fellow man. We all need a friend. You've got a friend in me. So let me tell you, the world reveres wealth, power, talent, and fame, and sometimes regards service as demeaning. Martin Luther King said, not everybody can be famous, but everybody can be great, because greatness is determined by service, and that gave my life meaning. You've got a friend in me. Your career choice does not determine your worth, nor your potential for greatness. Know your character, it is a reflection of your choices, pays the bills, and it is enough to say thank you for. But it does not make up who you are. True character is carefully woven in the way we treat people. Our actions and our choice of conversation behind closed doors, the way in which we serve others. Say to someone, you've got a friend in me. The system is not built to cultivate the mind, but rather to conform it. How dangerous would it be if we all had free thoughts and opinions and acted on it? Would we be all powerful or oppressed? Or would we choose to do the right thing regardless of how our true nature and talents are suppressed? I often ask myself, are you built for good, or are you built for a good attempt? And that put everything in perspective. You've got a friend in me. So while you're walking your journey and praying you're able to avoid life's mistakes, remember, in pain we find our purpose, mistakes mold character, and despite the gaping hole loss leaves as a permanent reminder in our chests, we are all a masterpiece and all demand respect. You've got a friend in me. Thank you.
I mean, what do you even say after a performance like that? Thank you, Sass, that was beautiful. I tell you a story based on the words of the previous poem. The first time I met this man, I found a friend in him. The first time I met this man, for Matt A. Morphosis up on stage.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I go by the name Matt A. Morphosis. So you sort of think of it as a caterpillar, treading salt and waters of fear, consuming itself through energy and frequency from which find the birth of its wings. Hence the name Matt Morphosis. Right, the piece of today is entitled Holographic Soul. Beginning the dark emptiness of space, particles collide for the first time, and upon the collision you find a helium and hydrogen atom coalescing. This gaseous coalescence becomes the birth of a star. This gravitational pull and acceleration exists as an emanating point of light, but that birth became our own beginning. This becomes the inflation point. Some call this the Big Bang Theory, but it's just our first beginning. For the revolution exists as an endless spinal cord that carried the world on its mind, so this becomes Atlas shrugging. And so you hang heavy anyways. Only to find that within this realm you find a primordial realm of mirror dimensions. Meaning that each mirror coalesces to find the reflected image of reality existing within a simple cubic dimension of your own thoughts. And so hanging in that moment you find a single plane of existence. Is this the birth of consciousness? Or is this merely a form of energy? These are just as concoctions of thoughts and cognitions that exist as mere systems that mechanically exist as alternating chemicals that find the reality perceived to be true. Is this norepinephrine, dopamine, serotonin, or maybe we need another adrenaline rush? This is the fluid mechanics of dreams. The point is you. Traveling upon the ionosphere to find yourself as a soul existing anyways, but that gyration becomes you download your own true self. So your body inhabitates itself to find itself again as a being travels swiftly through time to find its existence as a mere escape point that found itself as a second alteration of reality. And so you find it as two-dimensional planes of consciousness exist, a third one is added to be one of time, and that energy frequency exists as a simulated reality. Is this the program of the mind running? Are we in a simulation? Or are we merely holographic souls? Beings digitally encoded to find themselves as avatars, so each time the book of faces speaks to you, you'll find that a status might not be the truth. Or ask questions like, since when did birth sharing become relevant to tweets? See, through instant gratification, the snapshotted gram becomes a single image that captures your essence that's only coalesced to find itself as a single frame that became a lost filter. So are you filtrating your own essence? Is this the part where your mind exists to find itself as a truth that escaped to find itself again, but that last stripping point became you flowing through reality again? And so as mind concocts itself to sky, you find your soul within the stratosphere to find that mere existence is merely you choose to download the true essence of yourself. So projected realities exist within iframes, and that sight becomes a retinal scan where the flipping point becomes an altered image that's upside down, but bush reality exists within your soul. And so we find ourselves as beings traveling through time. Avatars of ourselves exist, alphanumeric keypads, key-coded to find their own existence within genetic code. But as the program runs anyways, the mind becomes the mainframe, and the execution file becomes your own truth. So within simulated reality, can you find the holographic soul? Thank you.
And unfortunately, he tells me that he's going to leave the stage, the same stage that I got upon because I saw his works. The same stage I stand upon right now, he has chosen to step off. The stoic in me says acceptance. The romantic in me says defiance. Tell him no, bring him back. Shout and perform and scream at the top of your lungs up until he comes back. But that is not for me to tell. That is for him to decide. May I please have a warm round of applause for my Yoda, Miles.
Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing? You guys make it seem like we're at a cemetery. How are you guys doing? Cool, that's a bit better. I'm just doing that so you guys can warm yourselves up because it's cold. I decided to do, I've got like, I think 3 shows left. This being the 3rd. Another one on Saturday, because I made someone a promise, damn it. And then I've got a podcast on Monday, and then I've got the one on the 15th of July, which will be called The Lost Bubble, where I shall be performing my Lost Bubble. Yeah, so it's been about 7 years in the industry, 11 writing, and the poem I'm about to perform is me going back to one of my favorite elements. I will not be speaking like Yoda. I'm not short or green. But what I will do is I'll be freestyling for you guys, yeah? And the poem has been titled Ode to Poetry. You guys ready? That's good because I'm not. Okay, I'm going to do the famous step back and then step into it. It's like you don't know, it's like clutch control, it's just like, yeah. You guys ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, just one more time. Woo! To the poetry gods that instilled this gift in me. When I was a young child just trying to write a poem for that girl across the road in an English test. I still didn't get that girl. I wrote poems that said love was but an instrument, but the instrument was something that I could never play. I took pianos in hopes that I'll be able to find the right keys. How my voice was flat every time I was in your presence. How my heart decided to create a sharp beat. It pumped for you. For the stages that I have rooted myself in. I pray that these words have branched out to create fruits. How gravity has decided to spread them amongst the youth. To poetry, I have no beef with you. It's just you were Adam and I was Eve, so it was funny when our sun finally set within the first poem. But after 5 or 6 more, our sun decided to rise. I've decided to grow just to ensure that I'll be able to take my own rib cages, and I can give yours back. To the beauty that, Doc's even on stage. Sorry, just a distraction. To the multiple people I've told love poems to in hopes that you'd be able to find the sun at the end of the tunnel. How tempests tend to ensure that we had wavy discussions. I've still not come to terms. Okay. Yes, boy.
That's a go.
Yes, girl. Sorry. Where was I? Sorry. When time has not really clocked in. How we constantly kept clocking in with every single poem. These words decided to create metaphors of how I tried to hide my pain. How these bubbles constantly decided to upbring themselves, everyone being a chapter, fragile yet still. Popping at every sight of broken hearts. How I've broken my heart in, but found temporary fixes with every word that I've ever uttered. This is my love letter to the poems that I have not been able to write. To the one person that I found who was my favorite piece. A symphony, a sonnet, a haiku. That's only because there was a short issue. She didn't meet the right height requirements. I decided to be like Adam. I've given up all my rib cages that had puns in them so that you would be able to receive the last punchline. These poems were a letter, explanation of how I needed to give it up in order to find myself again. How this Milky Way decided to drain all these stars. You'd swear that you started becoming a black hole. I got lost in you, trying to find my Mars. And you left me Earth, decided to ensure that I'd be able to write in every single element. That's why my tongue tends to wave goodbye. How cyclones tend to create a fire inside of me that would destroy every iceberg. But it's my time. This relationship has finally sunk. I've become the Titanic, you a rose, better yet a violet. And during Valentine's Day, I'll ensure I buy violet seeds in order to watch them blossom again. To the stages I have rooted myself in. I hope that you would never leave me. I hope that these speakers create enough waves to ensure that you would be able to catch the rhythm. To the people that have been touched by my words, I hope it flows through you just like blood through your veins, in hopes that one day you would be my mate. Thank you.
Am I allowed to get a little morbid, a little dark?
You're already dark.
I wasn't talking about my skin complexion. I'm not sure how other people got into poetry, but I know the story of how I got into poetry. I experienced darkness in my life, and instead of looking away and running away, I stared deep into the abyss, and I found my solace.
There's no light source here, by the way. Learn to hunt. Eat mostly red meat. Only drink good full-bodied beer. Find a good full-bodied woman. Write all of your love poems to her in all caps using only blue crayon. Realize that love poems are fucking gay and text her you up instead. Skip church every Sunday. Play golf. Remember that a man's place is never on his knees. Look at yourself in the mirror. Imagine the face of the last person you loved completely. No matter what, do not call her. Remember how many times you have convinced her that you are the safest harbor for her to dock her ships in before revealing yourself as an iceberg. Grow some balls. They will be all you have to hold on to when she leaves. Go to the gym at least 3 times a week. Know the names of all the rugby players in your father's favorite team. Buy a hamster. This will be good for the days you want to remember what it felt like to hold something in your hands without destroying it. Look at yourself in the mirror. Imagine your father's face. Remember that you do not have to be like him. Look at yourself in the mirror and imagine your mother's face. Know that she also wishes you were less like him. Begin again. So at 2 a.m. last night, I was going through notes on my phone and I found a bunch of jokes I am not told. And it's because they are not necessarily good. We'll see though. Cool. So, how does a German trash can introduce itself? Ich bin. Actually, I got that introduction in one of my poems recently, and I'm actually going to end on that poem now. Okay. Do German schools start at 8? 9. Call in sick to work last week. I told my boss that I couldn't come in because I was converting to a North Indian religion. I called in sick. Cool, and then the last joke before the last poem is there's actually a little bit of advice. You should never try to write an essay about mustard or tomato sauce because it's way too hard to cite your sources. People got mad at me at an open mic last week, so let's see. This is a haiku. I wear the same pants every time I pray. Is it either way, every time I pray. And now they are worn out and holy.
Shooting from the hip. That was amazing. That was so much fun.
That was fun.
My jaw is sore. Apparently, I don't smile enough. Okay, thank you, Andre. That was. Our special guest is going to do another like 20 minutes or so set, and then we're gonna open up the stage to our open micers. So the intention of, is that the dog? I mean, but why? Why? But, ladies and gentlemen, may I please have another warm round of applause for Guilherme.
Called Facing South. The composition, this tune, it's called Peregrino, which means pilgrim. And so I was thinking about this guy, this character, walking around and seeing beautiful scenes and landscapes. I hope you can see those scenes and landscapes, listen to this music. I'd like to thank you guys for coming here to this beautiful event. And especially I'd like to thank the Brazilian Embassy and special Rafael. Thank you. I'm very happy being here and I hope you enjoy this night with the people that are coming to this open mic.
Thank you.
Idea of giving people that have words either on their hearts or on their minds that they want to speak. So we are coming to the part of the event where we open up the stage to anybody that wants to speak. Anybody that has words that are on their temple. In most cases, I don't know who is about to come up. I don't know who or what they're going to say, how they're going to perform or anything like that. But a few of my friends have also decided that tonight is the night where they want to share. The man that I'm going to bring up on stage, I've seen him perform many times. Many times, actually. And every single time, he surprises me with his performance. Sometimes it's a heartfelt poem. My brother got excited. It's okay. Before I continue, I just want to give you a short explanation of what my poem is about. Basically, what I see is a very important element, or especially an important element of my life, is knowing where you come from, or just knowing the history of, where you've been or where your parents have been and so on. And I believe that if you have a better understanding of where you're from, then the decisions you make in the future are more grounded, more calculated, because you know what has happened before. You've learned from the mistakes, and you've learned from the benefits of what has happened before. Especially in Africa, because there is a lot of mystery and misinformation about how we as Africans came to be at this point. And not a lot of people knew that many centuries ago there have been great kingdoms that came from Egypt, Mali, Ghana, so on and so forth. And with this poem, I tried to write in the form of a story. And I really hope you guys like it. Thanks, Gail. Right. This poem is entitled We Were Once Kings. Gather around, my children. Let me tell you my story. Let me remind you of a time before time when I was royalty. Ruler of kingdoms vast and wealthy. My subjects were strong and healthy. My lands were prosperous. Tributes were paid to express loyalty. Mountain ranges spanning further than your eyes could see, where I could meditate in prayer, worshipping the gods that came before me. I had my beliefs and cultures, with my gods portrayed in sculptures, my faith in ways passed down by words and scriptures. I was the Kemites, those that built the pyramids in the dark nights was where I studied the stars. I was the Songhai of Songhai,
not to be confused with Shanghai, where I ruled as Sunny Ali, capturing Timbuktu in Mali. Where I once ruled as Abu Bakr II, I remember leaving my throne to explore the limits of the ocean. Morenna was my empress, the one-eyed Kandaki of Kush that was hard to impress. Distress was brought upon King Alexander the Great and his men when they saw her battle prowess. Yes, there were many others, like Ya Asantewa, Queen Mother of Ijesu, or of the Asante, that believed in their liberalism, fought tooth and nail against the oppressive fascism of British colonialism. The realism came to me then as King Shaka of the Zulu nation. I remember motivating my men as we got into the bullhead formation. Everything changed since then. Ships kept coming to my shores, bringing in foreign ways with them. There they were, in their tens and hundreds, forcing me into ships where I was taken away for hundreds of years. I had forgotten who I was, stripped away of my identity, and was now called Black, traced the lines of my scars on my back, caused by the crack of the whips of my masters that were known as white, forced to serve and be polite, while I continued to believe that this was right, teaching myself to be powerless until I became Frederick Douglass. My influence grew steadily, then I was Marcus Garvey, regained my identity so I could remember, learned the importance of peace and became Nelson Mandela, then the world was made better. Finally providing growth for you all, my children of strength of peace. I need you to remember my story, learn this, for these were the elements that made you. Never forget who you are, for you were once kings.
I told you. We have some killers in the room. Two up-and-coming musos that are going to perform for us as well. So what I'm going to do is, for the sake of time and for the sake of trying to get you guys here for the next event again so you can perform again, what I'm going to ask is that can all of our open micers do one poem for us so that we can keep track of our time and give everybody the opportunity to perform. May I have the way out on the stage.
Hero, Way to Hero on all social media. I'm just gonna do one quick song for you. And it's about friendship and family and how hard it is sometimes in life.
I say sorry to my teens, I say sorry to my bad teens. Used to scoop you early on a Saturday, I'm fasting. And I got the steady and she gets me through some bad things. Thought I'd check up on you, how you doing, I'm just asking. Without ulterior motives, I know I used to twist you out. Now you feeling the coldness, you only see me on the gram. I post some serious moments, showing my life is slowly becoming the way that I want it and you want it. Way back when we used to dream, thinking if I get it, I could be a human being. Thinking if I get it, I could roll up in a BM. Now she rolling in the BM, in the seat you used to be in. Damn, sorry to my teens, especially to the ones who wanted rings. I don't feel as bad about the place. I'm sorry that I dangled a carrot you couldn't wait. I never said I promised, sometimes I feel like I did. I say sorry to you. I have just been going through some things. I have just been going through some things. I say sorry to my friends. I have just been going through some things. I have just been going through some things. I say sorry to my friends. I have just been going through some things. I have just been going through some things. I say sorry to my friends. I have just been going through some things. I have just been going through some things. I say sorry to my friends. I say sorry to my homies. Trying to get a hold on me, don't get me the whole week. I've been in the zone writing poetry, I don't sleep. Trying to keep my mama business afloat in my own dreams. Sorry to my fans, I say sorry to my day ones. Waiting for my come up so long that you done gave up. Saying it's okay, son. Who cares if you blow up anyway, son? Long as you remember where you came from. I hear you, but I'm still at it. I'm a real addict. Every time I hold the microphone, I only feel magic. I feel like it understands me. Even better than my family. And you the fam I chose. So when this world feel like it's poison, you the antidote. You made me feel like I was more than just a cat and flows. You made me feel like I was actually home, like I was human and a good student. Yeah, I'm dope. I have just been going through some things. I have just been going through some things. I say sorry to my friends. I have just been going through some things. I have just been going through some things. I say sorry to my friends. I have just been going through some things. I have just been going through some things. I say sorry to my friends. I have just been going through some things. I have just been going through some things. Sorry, I'm on track talking about forgetting a handstand. I just want to give them what they want and let them have it. So I can have the money, most important at a time. To see my cousins growing, man, I love them like they mine. If you listen to a rapper, you think life is only grind. But what's the point of the kind? If your fam get left behind, man, I don't get it, never did. I don't get it, never did. Man, I'd really rather live. Man, I'd really rather live. And live a good life. Promise you I'm bringing you a good wife. For Africans, a marriage is a family thing, and we should ignite them if they bad for you. Hang them out the window of the pad for you. If they treat you good, then I am glad for you. Cause you mad loyal through the mad toil. Felt I had to ride a track for you. Damn, sorry to my friend. I have just been going through some things. I have just been going through some things. I say sorry to my friend. I have just been going through some things. I have just been going through some things. I say sorry to my friend. I have just been going through some things. I have just been going through some things. I say sorry to my friend. I have just been going through some things. I have just been going through some things. I say sorry to you. That's my time. I'm here.
Heavy. We all been going through some things. Thank you. Thank you. Right? I'm sorry I'm not always there. Very bad at WhatsApp actually. And most of my friends complain that I never respond to their WhatsApp. So they're just like, bro, I'm busy. And moving from a muso to a poet is pretty hard. Unless you know the muso and unless you know the poet. So it's a pretty hard combination to form. So what I do is most of the time I play with the list of people that are coming up on the stage. Just so that you can relate to the previous performance and the next performance. With that in mind, we have a young lady that has brought her guitar, who has asked, can I please have a warm round of applause going through this room so it can heat up the room for the sultry performance that we're about to receive from Cherie.
I'm going to do an original song called Another Goodbye. I wrote it when I was like 14 years old, so how old are you now? Is it the way she smiles, or the way she lights up without a care, that draws you to her? I cannot quite admit why I'm so deeply desperate in love with you. still says that I am the wrong girl for you, but that's alright. And your mama says that I am too tough for you. She speaks the truth, but then you go so far away. And watch you cry for you, die for you, bleed for you, the way I would. It's innocent to be in love, because I come for you, fall for you, fight for you, and all I get in return is another goodbye. And I know times are changing, but my heart's still tangled up. Is it alright to be here, bathing in your bad love? But there you go, so far away. And watch you cry for you, die for you, bleed for you, the way I would. It's innocent to be in love, because I come for you, fall for you, fight for you, and all I get in return is another goodbye.
I had had an essence. Take from it what you will. If ever I had had an essence. That was beautiful. So, our next performer, I had the pleasure of meeting her. Was it last week or was it the week before? My memory fails me. Was it the week before? Can I please have...
Who has a coffee machine at home that can use beans? No? Right, done. Get up. So nobody can use coffee beans? Who said beans? There were a few repercussions. So this week I decided I would find a poem that I've written in my formative years, and so this specific one ties in with the theme of elements. It's called Unworthy Rain, and some context. At the time that I wrote this, I just got born again. So sorry if anyone has anything against religious stuff. Yeah, it's called Unworthy Rain. I hope you enjoy it. Okay. As I stand and watch the rain fall down outside my window, I realize just how unworthy the rain is to dwell in the sky. The rain is so insignificant that if I wanted to ignore it, I could look right through it and see the showered wet land. So I realize the rain seems so insignificant, so unworthy of being in the sky, that as one drop falls, another takes its place. But but that other falls and again is replaced by another. As the rain falls, it falls down. Down from grace, down from heaven, down to the filth of the earth, because it seems unworthy of being high in the sky. But then I realized, even if one tries to ignore the rain, one cannot ignore the effects of the rain, cleansing the earth and fulfilling the earth's thirst and bringing new life, reviving the land and washing away impurities, filth, and the dirt. There are some that notice the rain, rejoice in its coming, and embrace it. There are some who realize. Sorry. Then there are some who realize what the rain means, but choose to run away from it because of the pain of the healing the rain brings. It's like having a wound with Dettol. You know that it's going to heal it, but instead you decide to let it go septic because that's just an irritation. It's not pain of healing. So they run out of the rain because they believe that they can deal with the pain. There are those who never acknowledge the rain or the effects it has on the land, and thus they never experience life. Then I realize the rain is more worthy than anyone could ever express. The more I think about it, the more I realize the sky cannot confine the rain to dwell within it, because the rain loves the earth so much, it chooses to fall from grace, to wash the earth and cleanse it of its pain. There will always be those who call for the rain. There will always be those who wish it never came. But it doesn't matter what they want, because the rain will always come. Think of the rain as the Lord. Come, Lord Jesus, come.
Down, or we have been told that Rudy Francisco is coming down at the end of October with Jasmine Vans. They're going to be doing the tings. Hi. They're going to be doing the tings. And then, yeah, your next performer, Boytel.
Oh, yeah.
I see movements. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Ah, look at this sexy man. Like it.
Yeah, to really do the thing.
Boytel! Hello, hi, how are you? I'm gonna, as the previous MC said, fuck time, so I'm gonna do a little poem and, well, I'll start with a song and then close it off with a poem. Just a verse and a chorus of that song. I'm gonna need you to help me.
Okay.
Snap. Okay, we got it. We're at it again. Tonight I'm coming over. We went from just friends. Temptations got the best of us. We planning weekends together again. The lying won't end. No. Hotel suites, real discreet, sipping bubbly. She's here with me, but there's roots in between the sheets. There's nowhere to explain that. Don't call my phone when I'm at home. between us, but it's happening between us. Go. You paint such beautiful murals on walls. I've always found so hard to break down and create new ways to view them. You taught me to see through them, and into me, such a beautiful clarity. You are my 2 a.m. thoughts, my victory over many fears fought. Lies that my fears told about love I now behold. And I'm learning this beautiful truth that in your arms is a place where my fears die. Here in your bosom, your love, these fears forever rest in peace. You're the 2 a.m. thoughts I kept myself from thinking, because I couldn't imagine myself ever knowing such happiness without coming to an abrupt end, like waking up from the sweetest 2 a.m. thoughts. I've stayed up for so many 2 a.m.s thinking about waking up next to you. There isn't a 2 a.m. that doesn't know the sweet whisper of your name coming from my lips as I dream another dream of you. I remember in science class, learning that sound travels faster in the dark. So my 2 a.m.s are spent speaking to God about you, hoping she hears my prayers quicker and answers them in the speed of light. My 2 a.m.s are filled with dreams and thoughts of you. My 2 a.m.s won't ever let me forget about you. Thank you very much.
So my 2 a.m.s are filled with me hugging my pillow. I know, things happen, yeah? Give it up one more time for the boys. So our next performer, she doesn't know this yet, but I'm about to steal her scarf. Just letting you know in advance. She's taking it off right now, you see? Easier work for me. Really? I'm gonna see you later. So our next performer is Daniela. Let's okay. Before you come on stage, before. That's what you think. One more time. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Hi guys, so tonight's actually my first time and I wrote something down on a napkin. So I'm hoping this will be a Soviet etiquette. Not even gonna try.
The song can take
Anyway, so the lines here are shite. See, that's my rhyme.
Maybe I should have started. And then the song.
Okay, let's just our own line source.
I know.
Alright. So in the theme of elements. Alright. You are the sun, and I a caress, not understanding why my wax-winged ambition call for you. It's difficult denying your rays whilst the salt licks my wounds. Waves engulf me, mythology berates me. Finally, after kicking and screaming, I realize I am sinking. I realize to float, to go where the stream takes me, might have made my plummeting personhood worth burning for someone else. Thank you guys.
Your scarf is in my car. Work fast, eh? Don't think easy. We fast. Alright, cool. So your next performer, you want to give them a round of applause?
You can do it! You can do it! You got this!
Our next performer, yeah?
Yes.
If you guys are ready for it?
Yeah.
You guys ready? Guys, scream like to support a winning team. team. No, oh, Bafana. My banner, guys, are you ready? Yeah! Supporting my banner, FC today. 1, 2, 1, 2. Leave one more time. 1, 2, 1, 2. Our next performer coming to the stage, making this thing shake. Patricia?
Thank you, God, for giving me this platform to say my say. And I would just like to take the opportunity to embrace the fact that we're living and we are alive. I don't have a poem to say, but I'm a speaker. So I just had an epiphany. Did I say it right? My name is Patricia, and I would just like to be up here to talk about my best friend. She is so amazing, and she is my 2 a.m. thoughts, not my boyfriend. She is my 2 a.m. thoughts. I pray to God about her, and she is the one person that I can say I have a friend. Sister's amazing, and I would just like to say that I appreciate her. One thing I realize about life is that we're in a process of living, but we're in a process of making mistakes and forgiving. I pray to God for her, and I pray to God that He blesses her and He continues giving her life abundantly. And I don't write much. I do think about a lot. So she's one of the 2 a.m. thoughts. Thank you so much.